Good evening, all, and welcome back to today's video. In today's video, we're going to be doing an election prediction between Donald Trump, our incumbent president, and Andrew Yang, Democratic candidate for president of the United States, businessman and entrepreneur, who most of y'all would probably know for being the person that wants to give everyone $1,000, I guess, per month if you're over the age of 18. I mean, that's usually what most people talk about him. He's that's the one thing that stands him apart from the pack, that makes him unique. Of course, just with that, most people will either be in favor or against him, just because that's more of a progressive or democratic stance. But yeah, so Andrew Yang, surprisingly or unexpectedly, you could say, has actually kept up with most Democratic candidates. Most people thought that he would be, I guess you could say, the flavor of the month candidate, you could say, for a few months ago. But he's actually kept up. He's actually polling at around 5th or 6th in the middle of the pack for the Democratic nomination nationally. But yeah, we really, Andrew Yang is like Donald Trump. He doesn't really have a lot of, he doesn't have any political experience. He simply just he has his stances, of course, but the fact is he doesn't really have a previous platform. He's more of a new candidate. No, most people haven't even heard of him. At least I haven't heard of him before this election happened. Of course, I had to, find out more about him before I made this video. That's an issue for him. Name recognition. Most people don't even know who Andrew Yang was before this election. But yeah. So just to start off, Donald Trump has 164 electoral votes to Andrew Yang's 182 electoral votes, which is something common for most Democrats. Most Democrats will always start off with the most starting electoral votes, just because most of the states that are solidly Democratic have more electoral votes, are more urban areas, most people live. But yeah, so 192 toss-up electoral votes. So starting off, we'll start off on the West Coast. Nevada, I don't believe, or we'll come back to Nevada. New Mexico and Colorado again are trending more Democratic. They're more of I guess you could say future blue states. They'll soon in the future, like a state like maybe perhaps Texas would be solidly Democratic, like any other Democratic state, like an Illinois or like a New York or something like that. Same thing with Arizona, but in this election, I don't believe Arizona would be up for grabs that much. It would be considered a toss-up state, but wouldn't be contested that hard. But yeah, we'll leave Nevada for later. Iowa, I don't think either would be an issue for the president, because he doesn't, Andrew Yang, doesn't really have a way to appeal to these farmers, these elderly people that Republicans usually are always intact with, and people like white voters, the white working class, that are usually very pivotal for elections in this part of the country. With that being said, states like Ohio would also go towards the president. But yeah, by a big margin, around 5 or 10%, it would go to Donald Trump, just because Andrew Yang doesn't really have a previous record. Again, a big reason why a lot of people forget that Donald Trump won was because he had a background. Most people already knew him. He had name recognition, and he was outspoken. He didn't use a political filter like other people have. He spoke his mind, and it turned out working out for him. So moving down south, Florida would go, I do believe, handily for the president in this occasion. I don't believe that Andrew Yang can really find a way to, at the moment at least, can't really get a way to get out people in those big blocks of those big counties to vote out for him. I don't really see a way for him to win states like Florida, like Georgia, or state maybe even like North Carolina. And you see, this is going to already mount up Donald Trump to 259 electoral votes. I mean, yeah, there's really no way, at least a way that I see, that Donald Trump has issues with these states like Georgia, like Florida, like North Carolina. They've been handily Republican states, except of course Florida last voting for Barack Obama in 2012, North Carolina in 2008 for Barack Obama, and Georgia, I believe, until the 90s with Bill Clinton. So, but just before we start handing out more states, I think Virginia would be closer than most elections, but it would put Andrew Yang over the 200 electoral vote threshold. But yeah, so in the state of Maine, I believe one electoral vote would actually go to the president, just because that congressional district is a bit more Republican than the rest of the state. Again, Maine does split up its electoral votes by congressional district. So 3 to Andrew Yang, 1 to the president. If we move on to the West Coast again, Nevada, thinking about it, it'd be very close, but I think Andrew Yang would be able to pull it out. Again, Donald Trump would be able to use his business-like stance, or not business-like, but business-like, again, taking more of a direct approach to things, like that he used against Clinton in 2016, just because Andrew Yang, again, himself is also a businessman. But yeah, so with that being said, there's 60 electoral votes for up for grabs. But yeah, as you guys could tell, this would be an uphill battle for Andrew Yang, and I think if there was one state out of these 5 he would be able to pull out, is Michigan, just simply because of the lack of jobs there, and he's promised to find a way for jobs. I do believe that the $1,000 per week would give him an edge in some of these states, which is why I awarded him states like Virginia, like Nevada, despite not being that much of a Democrat, not Democrat, excuse me, of a well-known person. I think that's gonna help him most definitely. He'll use that towards his advantage very well as well. But yeah, you guys could tell New Hampshire, I think, would go to the president, simply because I think he does pretty well with independents. I don't really see a way Andrew Yang could gain those centrists and those more right-leaning Democrats or people. I just don't see him being able to reach out to those people as the candidate to work for them, to serve them in the White House. But yeah, as you can tell, Donald Trump has most of these states locked in. So with that being said, he'll handily, surprisingly to some of y'all, he'll win the state, in my opinion, of Minnesota, just because, again, Minnesota is trending towards the Republican side. It's been trending for the past few years, past few elections, past few decades, towards the state, towards the Republicans. Same thing. Wisconsin would be a very close state. Pennsylvania, I think, would go back to the president, and Wisconsin again would be a very close state. But yeah, the point is that Donald Trump would win this election by around 300 electoral votes to, I guess, Andrew Yang's 230, around 230. But yeah, so I guess if I had to really choose a winner for Wisconsin, I would choose, I guess, Andrew Yang, just because of his promise to keep jobs, to I guess there's really no actual reason why Andrew Yang could or couldn't win a lot of these states. It's just that we don't know how he'll do in a national election one-on-one with the president. I'll just give him with the benefit of the doubt to just to basically keep his $1,000 stance a week, jobs, to create jobs for people that are unemployed. And again, this state was one of the closest in the 2016 election. So with that being said, Donald Trump does defeat Andrew Yang handily by 294 electoral votes to Andrew Yang's 244. If you guys did enjoy this video, I hope you guys consider leaving a like, sharing the video along, subscribing, and leaving out any suggestions in the comment section. If you guys want to see more election nights, let me know down in the comment section. I'll be trying to do one every week, and try to keep doing these election predictions either daily, every other day, or every 3 days. I really don't have a schedule set in stone right now, but yeah, hope y'all consider subscribing, also leaving a like, sharing the video, and other things. So yeah, I hope y'all did enjoy this video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.